We are gonna have an update on the middle school construction. We try to have these every couple of months in order to give that more in-depth explanation about what's going on, as well as provide opportunity for question and answer, which is not typically, available at our council meetings when we do our quarter updates. So we think he's gonna start us off with an update on how things are going.
I can bring it up.
JP Kelly, I'm the borough engineer. As you know, there's a school under construction, and it has been for quite some time now. Work does continue, the work continues, it's very slow. We're not pleased with that, but there's very little we can do. The stormwater pipe that's been going in on Springfield has been slow due to rock, and that was unanticipated. They're finally out of that rock, and they're moving all along at a much quicker pace now. They did do an overlay, half lane overlay at Springfield, so that it's not driving down third world country like it has been for quite some time. So that is an improvement. They're waiting on a new manhole order to continue further up Springfield. The stormwater work is going to go all the way up to Oak. So there's new pipe and new inlets. There's other utility work that's going to happen in front of the school also, such as your water and sanitary connections. But that's going to be a lot less intrusive and a lot less of a pain for commuters to drive up and down Springfield Road. To date, they've had a permit, a PennDOT permit that allows them to close the road permanently, as you know, because of the detours that you've all had to take around that construction site. We've asked PennDOT to reconsider that now that they're nearly in front of the school and just have a single lane closure when it's working and have a less of a detour problem instead of going through other streets in the borough. You can either go around it or they can flag men during the construction hours and let cars pass either way. We haven't had an answer on that. We have the support of their inspector. PennDOT has not answered us whether or not it's going to be okay. We suspect that it will be. We're going to push for it so that it's, again, less of a pain to drive around the borough when they're doing the work. Other improvements, the site work continues. The contractors are now in, primarily to the building, as you see, doing all the rough-ins, whether it's HVAC, plumbing, electric, the framing, things like that. That's also going slower than we expected or that we would have expected. I don't know that we can do anything about that. We don't manage that project. They do have a construction manager on site. The construction manager that keeps up with the daily routine of the construction. We do attend meetings on behalf of the borough. Every 2 weeks, there's a meeting. We do get updates from those meetings so that we can keep council and residents informed. They're not very exciting at all. There's a lot of finger pointing, I will tell you that. Just like any big project, you know, some guy's holding up someone else and this material didn't come in, or we're waiting on this guy, or so on and so forth. Which is common, it's typical, it's a pain, to tell you the truth, but it's not unusual. As far as the site work is concerned, most of the rough grading is nearly complete. I would say it's in the neighborhood of 60 to 70% complete. Once the building, around the building is complete, then they're going to move to the back of the site where the ball fields are. We still have stockpiles of topsoil and things like that. And that's when the bulk of that area will get done. So I expect that to happen early spring next year, for that portion of that work to happen. And that's when grading and seeding and fine tuning of that portion of the property will be constructed. The borough did hire a consultant for field and field management. And Mr. Cozy and I have been working with him for many meetings with him, so that when the project is done, and before it's done, there's going to be an irrigation system and there's going to be a proper ball field installed for the baseball and football field. It's not going to be turf, it's going to be a grass turf. the consultant that we've used worked for the Phillies, their backyard looks pretty good, so he does come with a lot of experience. We have worked with him, he has come up with the final design, he has given us the irrigation design. We need to work on the pump area where we're gonna install that, we are working on that for the water tap and things like that. So that is moving along, we won't see much progress on that until the fields start getting shaped, and then the irrigation systems and things like that get installed. Let me see if I'm missing. Oh, we had a meeting with the Boys Club, and where the existing, Boys Club building is right now, that's gonna be expanded. We will have a portion of a rooftop deck, so that when games are happening, there's gonna be an elevated platform, cameras and things like that. So the architecturals for that building, which are fairly simple, it's not very complicated of a building. We're working on them right now, we're working with Steve to determine exactly what we have to fit into that building, so that there's a concession area, an office area, things like that. So that's moving forward also. I don't know if we're missing one, so far.
Sure, you're not going anywhere, so.
So that's a quick update on what's going on as far as the construction. Any questions yet or not yet?
Oh, yeah, let's just run through, because we had a meeting a couple weeks ago with the residents of Jason right there. So maybe a little redundant, I just want to run through so people understand what's going on. So, so current status of the project, when we came in, we were running the video. We do a video about once every 4 weeks to 6 weeks for a drone. So we have to start for historical purposes, plus we can see things on that. JP gets it, school district gets it, there's things you can see at 200 feet that you can't see below. It's good to keep for us as well in the future. That's the current status. If you see there, you ride by it every day. It's growing. During the borough, this real update, we had construction complaints with us across site within the days. Thank God it was wet before today. So again, it's an issue, it's a construction issue, it's a big problem. We had them today. John was up there telling them to reach through those fencing covers. We had dust on Sprinkler Road, dust on highway. Right now, Jimmy, our highway, every day, 3 o'clock, street sweeper goes up and down Sprinkler Road, goes up Darby, turns around and cleans the street. They do it, but it's just not what we expect in our town. So street sweepers up there every day. Vehicles driving side streets of Revere, we're hitting the police and hitting the corners, just trying to slow people down. You know, I don't like it. It's just like when the work comes here. People find alternative routes and then that becomes their way. So we are issuing some tickets through there. Mice and rats, you know, we hit a spur right at the end of September. Believe it or not, there was neighborhood mice and rats coming our way, around the house, sending them that way to the construction site. That's grills, trash, debris behind the house. John, we're pretty much last time too, up to speed.
Correct, I haven't had many
So we
complaints.
have those electronic traps out there that we can monitor what's going on, and that's been very helpful for us, just mitigating it. And the noise complaints, we had early starts, construction equipment starting, beavers, construction workers assembly, it's all been resolved. We shut them down Friday, 12th, I think it was, of September. Went through the weekend, John, Clay, and I, and they came up with our ordinance, and they signed off that they will not begin work till 7, and they cannot assemble on the site to quarter to 7. Every problem, it's like weed wild, right? You hit one, the other pops up. So now we have like, decorate your cars because we have a parade from Sprinkler Road to Westford Park in the morning. We're trying to curtail that, but if workers showing up for work, most of them are on that crew are coming this way or coming from Jersey. They don't want to be on the Walton Bridge to work. It's been pretty quiet. I suspect that that's going to pick up noise. After the Eagles game like last night, guys talking to the tower, but they've been pretty common from what we can see. We have cameras all through there on Sycamore, we have cameras on Sprinkler Road, we have cameras so we can pretty much monitor what we do there. That order was issued, that's just a reason. These are the ordinances that we have in place, it's been in place for years, got started work between different times. Claims enforcement. JP gave the update. This is from the last meeting. I think that's. So this is where we're at right now. So JP gave you the ball field update. That is 2 baseball fields. Originally there was 3. We eliminated 1 that we could ever. When I got here, I couldn't figure out why we had 3 baseball fields. Because we never 3 baseball fields. So the 1 by, and we were really put a hamper on the boys' club's field house. It was up in that corner, and it was where the driveway came up. It was really close to Sycamore. That was eliminated, and then the 2 are in, and then the football field runs. A lot of people ask the football field runs along like Whitman Sprinkler right in the back. Instead of going this way, it's going sideways. They'll have stands on the behind the school. I guess would be the visitors. And then on our side, we're looking for some portable stands in the football season because it's in the outfield of it's the center field of the baseball field, so it's the wheel out. During all season. There's also a all-purpose field on the left-hand side of the big softball, baseball field, and the football field. So there's activities there they can practice on and do other things on. Full sprinkler system, like you said, again, there's no lighting. We still get questions on that. There is no lighting. In the history of all football, everyone loved Friday night. There's no more Friday night football because of kids. Pretty much every sports team in Delaware County that had Friday night football games just canceled them. They can't have enough police officers to control the kids are out of control, and there's bad things happening. It's unfortunate, but to spend pretty much $800,000 on a set of lights that we have to shut off if there was a problem. Talking with Rock and some of the meetings we had with the mayor and council, we can't afford that kind of problem. Similar to what we had with the carnival, right? We only have so many police officers, and something bad happens, we want to make sure our community is safe. So that went up. We did opt to go with full side on the field instead of turf. The school district originally had turf in there, and they eliminated it before I got here. Just putting grass on there is not something that we can maintain with the amount of field we have. So putting this side with your good, nice, solid irrigation system, we're really maintaining. And we're also, previous to this whole school, where we noticed was going on, we moved all of our contracts for landscaping and moved it back in-house. And took those dollars and started putting it towards a full maintenance on this field from the outside. This is going to need a Carmenico or somebody who's in turf management that really knows how to take care of fields all time, keeping track of who's using it and doing that. If you recall, the school district gets it up till 5 o'clock for baseball for the kids in school. The boys club gets it. We maintain it's our field, so we permit it out wherever we want for the boys. We'll get an agreement with the boys club because they're trying to foul, which are the primary users of our fields. That's a council decision, but what this current council says is it's staying with that. We don't need Prospect Park. We don't need different fields coming in here and taking over the time. Now there's individual battles. I dealt with it when I was mayor. It's our hometown field. We keep our hometown field, particularly if we're putting the kind of money in to keep it maintained and keep it nice. We are in the planning of doing a bond. We would look to redo Rosati Field to keep it kind of a rundown field. It's used for softball. We look at possibly putting in some just ground lighting, like Pico type lighting, not stadium lighting. If they, in the fall, can they practice there and play up here to keep the turf in shape? Little guys, that kind of stuff. So, just for your education, they're one of the strongest clubs in the county right now, and we want to maintain boys and girls practicing between PAL and the boys club to support them. Right now, the dirt area between Revere, and I think you can see, and I can see here, that the trailers are now moving out of there. They're moving to, if you look at the lower lot, they're starting to move trailers down. The full construction management.
They brought them in new.
They're ready to be able to move. They're not going to
really
move them
moving much.
That's where they're going.
Right, but we haven't
Yeah.
seen much.
Yeah, they're
They took
probably.
the electrical thing.
Yeah, so whatever you're doing, I do know they're moving their management offices from where you're carrying the end
Right
here
next to my house.
down to there, and then that dirt's gonna come down. I'm glad they made it, because I really want to go with the club. So it's cold, the dirt won't shoot. But they're gonna bring that down to level for the fields and to meet the new field, and then over the next couple of weeks, I guess that dirt pile's rolling, right?
Sure. Yes.
The dirt, some of the dirt pile you see there is actually the topsoil that goes on top of the field. The other dirt pile is dirt that has to go out, 2 separate piles. So barricades, signs, we did the barricades, at the meeting, we were having issues with people coming up Oak, thinking that they could cut through Revere to find out it's a dead end street. We put a barricade, dead end, it says, dead end at the end of the street. I don't know if that's-
They disappeared.
Who knows?
They were on both sides,
I go for a while.
and they're kind of something.
Yeah, we straightened out, well,
Yeah,
in
but
the
he
test,
checks on
now
you.
it works, I said Jimmy, right, John and Jim, James and Jimmy, by Carver. One thing I did learn, we listened to some neighbors, some other neighbors don't particularly agree, so I was able to turn it 50-50. They were getting upset that it would turn and stop it. So
Yeah,
we
you're right.
we put it on the left side, so we'll permanently put that in, I think it's good, no matter where you want to school it to.
It won't hurt, that's for sure.
And we also closed off the entrance to the field at Revere. So the only entrances to the field, the side streets will be off of Wincliff, which is the emergency exit and the entrance, the main entrance, and off of Second. The 3 main, and of course, off of the driveway, the sidewalk goes through. There's 3 main entrance points. I will tell you this, just my experience, is go the short distance between 2 locations, so you gotta find out where they will be. It just means that you'll either cut a fence or they'll climb under a fence and like something stupid, we'll just have to keep it out. Before I go around, I just wanna, Ed brought, you have anything? Ed's
No.
the third ward from councilman. John's the 4th, and he's up on the cabinet, everything?
No.
Okay. John Cannon, 2nd. You have anything? No? John's out there, he's your defender of codes. And then Mary, what's it?
No, we're good. Yep.
So now, I'd like to open it up. I usually go left to right, so this time I'm going to right to left. So, you have anything to contribute? Okay. Sorry. Nothing?
How long will the Springfield Road be closed?
Okay, right now, JP, unfortunately, JP, me and him didn't connect today. We did connect, but I didn't bring this up until he said, while he was stuck in Fort Lauderdale on the planes this week, and I did call, and we've had conversations where we talked to the council tomorrow night, is we have an opportunity, they believe, and we were looking with them, the locals, to shut down half of the lane. That causes a little bit of traffic problems, or cutting through and everything. They're suggesting possibly that we do it 8 to 4 instead of a 10 to 3, because they only get like 3 hours of work. To speed this thing up and get them out of there from Sycamore to Oak, because they have to do cutouts and pump outs on Church Street, Church Avenue, for close that intersection in. So they're gonna be in the middle of that road, the flag man coming through there. Right there is the entrance to the site. So they're saying from a safety standpoint, me and Rob talked about this. I think it's best at this time of the year, except for I told them they can't go Christmas or trying to, after, when it's a disaster, traffic right along. But maybe just shut it down, get them in there, get them out of there, get them back on the site. And then we have a little tweaking here and there when we do the sidewalks and curbs, but the flagman, they clarified, is when we do the sidewalks and curbs. They would like to see if we can, follow it and look at it, but I think for where we've been since middle of summer, we're past the main entrance now with the pipe and the middle of rock. They can really accelerate by getting into the street and just going. So,
Back wall's
let's
up,
give
but
you a
it's over
form here.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all.
If that's, to answer your question is, I would say, JP, what do you think, another 2 months on there?
Oh, yeah.
Another 2 months.
About 2 months?
Don't quote me, I'm not they can hit something, they can, they're moving as fast, they want out of there as much as we want. So what is your particular concern, living there, operating like what?
I'm right in front of the main entrance.
Bad spot.
Right in front, and I have a difficult time
Getting in and out.
to get in and out
Okay.
every day.
I will speak to them, that's in the morning, what time do you leave for work? About 7?
It depends. Sometimes me, I used to leave early. I come back and in the afternoon too, about after 3. But my daughter, she had to go to college different time, and she had to come back to every, every day, but different time.
She can't get in, you're saying?
Sometimes, yeah, but we get in through the Oak and
Right.
Springfield.
Okay.
Even there is a sign.
Right, you go off the left.
Yeah,
Left
yeah,
side trucks. Okay.
we-
See me after the meeting, I may be able to get a bag or something for you. You can show them if they stop here or something like that. Okay? I'm waiting, yeah, that's fine. The door should have-
It's an old house right there. Corner? Yep. Yeah.
It's all apartments now.
Apartments, yeah.
There's a
How
whole-
about the food down on Glenwood?
That's a hell of a house. He dumped some serious money
Oh, yeah,
into that
yeah,
house. I didn't know he put a pool in the back.
That's, get taken care of by Pat. Pal does all that, right? We got,
Yeah.
that's a pal, yeah, we don't, give you, we'll go in and help out, they need something that's primarily 99% of the time they take care of it. It's Katie too.
This place is a nightmare.
I have to say thanks.
It's a garage.
to-
He runs his motorcycles out of there. When I was
In,
campaigning on these
Kitty
guys,
Park.
they were complaining about that guy. Oh, there's another pole. See, I didn't see that one.
Looks good.
You wanna play pickleball?
Hey, this is,
We never chase the ball, we don't come back.
yeah, no,
There's a dog park.
And right now, we met last week, laid out the dog park. What has to happen is that dirt came from.
Rock's old house right there.
That goes down 2 feet. Stone goes in, they were bringing in sand, bar sand for dogs or feet. And then a new fence area, so it'll be a small, under 35-pound dogs, and then a large, over 35-pound. And there'll be key fob access, so a resident has to come and apply. They need to have their shots, the rabies shots, and their license. Fill it out, put a deposit down for key fobs, and we'll know who's in and out. If there's any issues, we can lock them out, so. It's, we're looking forward to it. It's gonna be smaller than the one that's at Kent Park.
Karen's house right
One
there.
pay outsiders as much. Outsiders are paying $200 a year. We purposely did not use any grant money on that, so we use equipment borrow money.
Ain't two of those right here.
So we control a little bit better. We use grant money, you cannot restrict access. So the pickleball court and that was all borrow money.
It looks nice.
Yeah, it came out nice. Guys, we're really proud of it. It was an underutilized area, really doing smart to do that. Yeah. Karen? Make sure you see it. Pray for you. Yes? I'm sorry.
When is the school expected to open?
So I'll give you the official, I spoke to him today. They're anticipating the contract calls for opening September. The problem they have is if there's any major storm like a blizzard in '96, they couldn't take it till January.
This upcoming September.
This upcoming September. Planned opening 26. However, any delay or anything like, everything, equipment's all set there. It's happened where you have a major snowstorm, you can't go on the project. That could put it in big delay. I'm talking like a blizzard in '96, I'm not talking like a, little flood. Something big, we shut the heaters for a week or something, or 2 weeks because of heavy snows, that could be a problem.
And what were you saying about the rats? Because I have never seen, I've been here 33 years, and you've seen rats once this started? You said something about.
And we're 2 doors down from Mark, and we're on Davis.
Okay.
We've seen rats on the street, we've seen dead rats on the street,
I know we had an issue back there from behind
and
it,
they're big.
they're not small. From behind you, there was issues back there on that street, not Prospect,
Yeah, but they haven't been there for 33 years.
We're seeing a lot, we've gotten quite a few complaints. I've been doing code enforcement 22 years, and I've seen rats this year unlike before, and even away from the school. We've seen quite a bit of them. We're doing a concerted effort. After the meeting, you're going to get your address. We'll
Do
see.
you have any traps back there?
Yeah, we can work to get some traps out there for you as well.
If any resident has them, we will, during this process, we have two types. We have a regular big black box you put around where they travel. The guy who goes out and does the rats, the company, he's got like a rag, he can figure out like where the nesting and all. So he puts black boxes. We also have in that area, if you have it, we put a box in that tracks through your cell phone, the activity of it. So you can see it going in and out. And then you don't see it, then you don't eradicate the problem. And we also track to see if it's going somewhere else. So, see, John, we'll put it in there. We'll get your address, we'll put it in there. Yeah, I don't want you to, it's medium too, so. For sure.
And as it gets cold, they're gonna want to find.
You're gonna be running, so we'll get it out there right away. We'll put them up here in the back of your house. And if you're around when he's there, he will also look around your house and tell you any points that he thinks you should take care of. If they get in very small.
On the Springfield and where Prospect comes down.
Yep.
What are they gonna do at that intersection? So
See,
you have Prospect
It
that
gets-
comes down from
It's
Oak
redone.
Avenue.
Where Church is, you mean? Church and Prospect and
Church and Prospect?
Springfield?
Yeah, that
That-
3 point.
That intersection gets reconfigured completely
It's a diet, it's configured.
so that you won't have the conflict of the angle of Prospect and Church. There'll be a turn so that you will intersect Springfield perpendicular.
Okay, so, and how about coming out of the school driveway
On
Are you-
Sycamore,
onto Sycamore? Is it gonna be no left
no,
turn?
left turn.
Okay.
JP and I are designing what do we call it? It's like an island.
Bump out.
There's gonna be an island in the middle, you put the little, stick up.
Okay.
So
But you'll be able to come down from like Wincliffe.
We'll be able to have
straight.
two-way coming out, in and out. But at the turn, you're gonna have to go out Sycamore. For the
Yes.
Springfield. You can't make a left.
Yes.
And the grant money that was obtained to do the Springfield Road corridor,
Yeah.
like, that's the business district, right?
No, we have, so we have $3.2 million to do, finish the parking lot here on the corner. Which is gonna take the parking lot's one aspect of it, it's also gonna capture the water. If you ever come down in a heavy rain, sheet blows across all over like the water, that's gonna capture some of that intersection water. As we come up, we're going past the Memorial, and that on the west side of the street, which is the Memorial side, all the way to Burrell's is all brand new curbs and sidewalks, and the district has to put handicap access in at Sycamore, at Church, and that, out, what's your name, your street?
Austin.
Austin.
So is that gonna coincide with the school district project?
Yeah, well, we're trying to make it go that way, but they have, we have the elevation, so we're either meet it or not. So that's that side. Now, what happened with the west side between Baldwin Pike and Sycamore, in the original project plans are sitting right there, it had curbs and sidewalks. When we had the issue going on with Oak Avenue with the parking, they changed the plan in the PennDOT and went and put the pipe 4 feet off the curb line. So the school district was not obligated, the contractor and the school district, and the argument that because we're 4 feet off, we only have to repair for something broken. So you can see out there that flat sidewalk, which we vehemently disagree with. PennDOT has since reevaluated that, and said it's a great application for $500,000 to add it to our side. So that they're now going to do both sides. I don't understand how anybody thinks you go $105 million school and you broken curbs and sidewalks for kids to fall over place specifically. It's okay. So we're going to fix that with this grant money. We're pretty much assured from PennDOT, they know it's trying to screw up, they're going to help us out. And then we'll have curbs and sidewalks new all the way through the garage.
So what about the other side where the house
The
is?
right-hand side will PennDOT will not let us put, explain why that is on the flat side where the driveways are, where the stores are.
Yeah, we cannot reconfigure that. The elevations just don't work. PennDOT standards to put a curb in is 8 inches. They will work with us, they're working with us as far as the other improvements to go to 6 inches. But when you have to raise that elevation 6 inches, and it's as flat as can be, also to the paved areas where the cars park, it makes a very big problem, and it would trap stormwater. So we can't touch that side. Wherever we can get a 6-inch curb reveal in and the sidewalk behind it and blend it in within the right of way of the road, that's where we're gonna do the improvements.
In other words, when we looked at the elevation, it'll flood those stores out.
Right.
So, believe me, we wanted to.
Well, yeah, I just couldn't, I didn't know if you were doing both sides of the
Now we're
street.
going all the way up to up to the Morels.
And they're gonna do all new traffic signals?
School district ads with all three, right?
All new signals, at Oak, is that what you mean? At Oak?
I'm talking from like
Carter.
Austin Drive all the way down.
Austin, I don't believe has new signals. The
Yeah.
timing may change
Put new signals.
at Austin.
Well, they may put new heads in.
Yeah, new heads and
It'll
things.
be a new fixtures and things, it won't look like the old. New control panel, new, heads,
Right.
poles. I don't think it's the new massive, like Oak Avenue. Right? But it will tie in all the different traffic stuff. We're trying to get them to tie in for people, because I live that side. I'd love to be able to go home and not sit here. We have that green light take us right to the whole cross.
And then will PennDOT consider lowering the speed limit on Springfield Road?
That speed limit's on, there'll be 15 when the school flashes on. The school's at now, but it's 35 on there. You
Correct.
can't go below 35 and say that.
But it's 25 from Baltimore Pike and Oak to Springfield Road.
25.
From Baltimore Pike up to Springfield Road on Oak Avenue, the speed limit's 25 miles an hour.
Between Springfield and
I don't know that
Between
the
Springfield
permit,
and-
other than the school district changes the speed.
You can ask,
You can ask.
Yeah, I mean,
if they're 25, they're going 60, so.
well, yeah, I mean. I just
By the way, I
think
never
it
noticed
is-
there's 25.
it'd be something to,
Good point. I was always, under all the years I've been around, state highways get 35 miles. an hour.
Correct. Correct.
That's what I always thought. It's gotta be an old.
because Clifton has the flashing speed sign on Oak Avenue between Baltimore Pike.
Well, Oak Avenue, between Baltimore Pike and Oak Avenue is a state highway.
Right, and there's the flashing speed sign for 25.
But I believe that's a James, pre-James Highway, Clifton Heights, we put the sign up and nobody's ever, I'll bet you that permit says 35 on state highway. It's hard to believe, but I'll find out. Could be wrong, and I just always thought that.
I mean, like Suzanne said, we are having a problem with people going down Austin Drive the wrong way because they're getting tired of
Right.
waiting for the traffic at Oak Avenue.
Well, yeah.
Well, they're making the turn on Austin Drive.
they're coming up Austin the wrong way.
We should look, we should look at the signs there.
They hit- They hit a car on Friday.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
They got a car on Friday.
Oh, wow.
You know,
That's a shame.
They don't want to sit in that traffic.
Yeah, one thing we can never regulate, I don't say.
Is they hit and run.
Oh, yeah, no one stops anymore.
My fear is they're
They
just
could care
gonna
less.
take those kids coming, walking to Westbrook Park.
I worry about those kids every day. I mean, I've lived it, you guys are going to see it. When that school bumps out, I'm telling you right now.
It's gonna be a shit show.
On this side.
I want to know is with the school, you're saying, if they don't open the school year there, they'll start in the third market year. They'll wait till the third market year starts before they open. They should open up.
Is that January, February?
Yeah, I think it's like middle of January. Somewhere. Yeah, they'll do it at halfway point.
Yeah, I don't know, period, but January.
Yeah, there's four market years and they'll do it during the third market year.
The biggest fear I have, my experience on this is, I don't want, and I have good time, I have good rapport with the school. I don't want to run into it August the 28th, where these poor guys running around, that's the sprinkler system and all that. So, you know, as long as it's a, schedule, we can work together to get the thing open properly. But bad things happen in our stuff. So, we can 6 months, we'll work very closely together with them. And we have agreed to do that, try to do it. But they're not anxious to get it wrong either. Because once you get in there, disruptive, it's going to take a while to get it settled in. So, they're meeting tonight, I think, or tomorrow night, with the parents, the new principal. The new principal, private student is going to be the principal. So, which is good, at least we can't do anything. Yes, sir.
Question, Far as taking care of the field and the buildings and everything like that, and we know there's new people coming in, it's not going to change, is it?
I'm sorry.
We are still, we're still going to help the boys club with the building and everything, right?
I would think.
Okay, I'm just curious.
John's here, I know John's talked to the school district numerous times. Nothing's going to change. You can.
That's one of the big goals moving forward, to try to have better communication. But I will say this, it's been lacking. I'll be honest about it. Even I thought it would be better once I got elected, and there's been negligible improvement. I mean, that's the
His
fact.
question, his question was,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, it's I should put the mic on.
Yeah.
His question was, do you expect any changes on the support of the fields and the boys club?
I should surely hope not. And, we intend, as we move forward, to work, extremely hard to make sure that these fields meet the needs of the kids that use them. And there's no change from this side of the table, that's for sure. And I think I have heard nothing with their intentions that they would like to, do something different at this time. And we're going to work to make sure the agreement is lived up to.
Yes.
Quick question, this may have been covered in previous meetings. What grade schools are going to feed this middle school?
So the first thing is, in the previous administration, Mark, and at the table with Joe Lombardo and John McLean, who's our solicitor, they capped it at 800 students. And we're able to see that census every year and agree to it. Census is where they're coming from. So my understanding is some of Gariford, all of Primus, and all of Westbrook Park. So if you take those two, Primus and Westbrook Park, you're probably, and then you add the section that I understand you're looking at is like what I call the Oakview section, the back end of where St. Charles is up on the hill. We loop around and come there. And that frees up, if you look at the whole district, it kind of flips everything around.
So what about the kids that are going to St. Charles from the overflow of Stonehurst and Bywood that are bused to St. Charles?
They're closing.
Yeah, they're closing that.
Charles County.
That's being closed.
Well, I understand
Oh.
that, but it's still open as of now, and if they're opening it supposedly in September, that would be considered a feeder school from the Drexel Hill area.
It's poor.
That'd be based on the residents.
It's a catchment area where like those kids, when I was around back when that happened, everyone thinks they're like from a pocket. There's like a bus from here, and a bus from there, and a bus from here. It was done by busing at distance. It worked out well. But one of their arguments is they're going back to where their home schools are. They don't want to be together.
I believe they're also changing the catchment areas for Garrettford, Hillcrest, and Aronimink. They're changing the catchment areas for Hillcrest, Garrettford, and Aronimink. They're shifting.
So they're doing a district-wide
They're doing a
shift.
district-wide
And kids
shift.
from Highlands Park are now going to go to
Susan, put your
Drexel
mic on.
Hill.
Put your mic on.
Right, and kids that,
Now
I
they'll
want
hear
to
you.
say there was about 3 or 4 months ago, they were having on YouTube the actual redistricting and where they're pulling everybody from. I think it was 3 or 4 months ago, one of the border or the school district ones. They usually post them on YouTube, so you might be able to find it on YouTube if you go back and find the one that actually talks about the redistricting. I think it's the one they talked about when they were closing Charles Kelly. They actually have the redistricting map on.
so they're closing the end of this school year, yes.
I believe it's the end of this year. Because they just
They're going to go
finished,
back to,
well, because they finished doing the expansion on the one elementary school, Aronimink, which they're gonna pull some of Garrettford over there and then some of the, we're pulling some of the Hillcrest and then they're gonna pull some, like Upward Argon to Hillcrest, like the BH section of Upward Argon to Hillcrest. So that'll free up the kids from 69th Street and the outer part of like Second Ward. So those two can, just some of the Stonehurst will go to Bywood with the 69th Street kids. And then the farther out, Second Ward is gonna go to Stonehurst.
what about the overflow from Bywood? Because Bywood's capped to capacity now.
Well, that's what I'm saying, they have it all kind of redone a little bit where some of that plywood's going, they have it all, I have to
I'll
relook at
look
the map.
on the YouTube.
Yeah, look, I think it's the Charles Kelly, when they closed, they showed the whole mapping of it.
I believe the Sencal kids go to Aronimink, but those kids will be going to Beverly Hills, if I'm recalling correctly. Because Aronimik's gonna be split. Some of those kids will go to Beverly Hills, some of those kids are supposed to go to Drexel Hill. And because they're reconfiguring the catchment areas in the other schools, they're gonna absorb the Charles Kelly kids within those new catchment areas, is what the plan is.
Yeah, I was just wondering how they were getting that cap of 850 when you have 4 feeder schools in the area.
800.
800, yeah.
Yeah.
There's parts of the second
Wood,
ward that were
200.
being funneled to Charles Kelly, and then by the 69th Street area, where the Cardin Field area, they were feeding some of those kids over. So those two groups, because Stonehurst and Tidewood were too small, they were just pulling certain sections of those two areas that were getting bused. So since they're already getting bused, we're just gonna bus them to Charles County. So that's all they kind of did, was 2 kids that were bused, they just kept them bused and just bus them farther away.
Because I don't believe they resolved what to do about the additional elementary school that they had wanted to build. I don't believe they've resolved that. I think they're still trying to figure out, yeah. So,
So, one of the reasons I left out, for kids and traffic, is buses. The reason I'm pushing for that 8 to 4, I want them off that highway because I want to do a holiday for like 2 or 3 months in spring. So that everyone goes back to their normal patterns, because I want to do a traffic study now. And then do a traffic study a year from now, so we can look at patterns of what's going on to be able to adjust some of the streets for one ways or no left turns, those kind of things. Maybe they don't work on that model. The only way to get that short accurate is to put everybody back in their boxes. So when they go to work, they're going to stay out on Sprinkler Road, those kind of things. Particularly in that Windcliff, Sycamore, coming down the Avenue, making a left off of, Pine Street, my street, those kind of things. So, I mean, everybody traditionally comes through Westbrook Park, down West Park Lane, makes a left on Crestwood, makes a right on the Avenue. We're coming off the Garrett Road Bridge, make a left on Sycamore, take your life in their hands, driving through Sycamore through the curve, coming out at Sprinkler Road. That to me is going to be an issue.
Are they on turning arrows?
We're not going to allow, school buses, the drivers are being told not to take Sycamore. That's too dangerous. So they got to stay out on, either, they should stay out on the main highway. They should cut through Westbrook Park, come down the Avenue, probably come down and make a left.
Like Oak and Springfield, will they have like a left-hand turn,
There's a left.
There are.
Yeah,
an
there's three
arrow,
turn
and then coming up?
There is, coming north on Oak, there's a left-hand turn. Coming south on Springfield Road, there's a left on Oak. Coming north, there's a left on Oak, I believe.
Yes.
Everything's pretty much like, get out of lanes. And the Oak Avenue, you'll start seeing, it's going to get widened in. So you have a decel lane past the school on the right-hand side to get in that parking lot, and then also make a right-hand turn. The decels all the way up, right?
Correct.
So, all right, I'll be around and the council's around. Karen? Let me grab it.
All right.
Right there.